We just don't have any room for hatred in this city. And for somebody to use it for personal gain, it's shameful, because what that does is take away the resources that we could be putting into other crimes. Say again? That's the FBI's investigation, so CPD doesn't comment on the FBI's investigation. Yeah, we have evidence that we have the check that he used to pay them. So the $3,500 was for the two of them in total, and then $500 upon return. No, it took place right there. So of course it was staged. The brothers had on gloves during the staged attack, where they punched him a little bit. But as far as we can tell, the scratches and bruising that you saw on his face was most likely self-inflicted. So let me reiterate again. You know, you all heard me say consistently that we were treating Mr. Smollett like a victim, and we did. We might have had some peculiarities with the case, as we do with most cases. So it wasn't until the 47th hour of their 48-hour hold time that we could legally hold them in custody that it took a change. So we gave them the benefit of the doubt up until that 47th hour. When we discovered the actual motive, quite frankly, it pissed everybody off, you know, because we have to invest valuable resources. A lot of what I want you all to really understand is, when you all put things out there into the universe that's not actual facts, then it causes us to have to chase all that stuff down. Those are resources and time spent that we'll never get back, that we could utilize for another investigation. And let me be clear about something. The shootings and homicides in this city were not impacted at all by this particular investigation. And again, we give the same amount of resources to every hate crime that's reported in this city. I think that they knew where that one camera was, but unfortunately it didn't capture the event. So I believe that Mr. Smollett wanted it on camera, but unfortunately that particular camera wasn't pointing in that direction. No, not at this time. Yes. He was on the phone, but whether or not he knew it was a ruse, we can't speak to right now. At some point, we'll talk to him. So Mr. Smollett is the one that orchestrated this crime. They became cooperating witnesses in the 47th hour of their 48-hour hold time. So now they are witnesses to what he did. So he has to be accountable for what he did. He orchestrated this. Well, I think that's a subject for another day. But of course, it's because of what he did that we had to invest all these resources. He hasn't made any statements at this time. No. No. Kim Fox and I, look, I'm the police superintendent. She's Cook County State's attorney. So we talk almost every day about different cases. So the fact that she recused herself didn't impact the case at all. Say again? Listen, we have a great relationship with our federal partners, and we certainly need to have a good relationship with our state's attorney's office, which we did. So again, you all have to remember that the erroneous rumors and innuendo that was put out there in the beginning was just that. This investigation didn't turn in the direction of Mr. Smollett being a defendant until the 47th hour that we had those two individuals in custody. So one more hour, we would have had to let them go. We may not be here today. So the state's attorney didn't drag anything. We needed to put the case together. These things take time. This isn't TV. Okay? This is real life. So it takes time. Well, who's to say the leaks came from us? Just because there are leaks out there doesn't necessarily mean it came from CPD. You know, I heard particular things that were out there that I knew was simply untrue. So it doesn't mean it came from the police department. We have the phone records that clearly indicate that they talked to each other quite a bit before the incident, after the incident, and while they were out of the country. Yes. Yes. You mean right after, like moments afterwards? Yeah, I just said. So we know that they talked at least an hour or so before the attack, an hour or so after the attack, and then while they were out of the country. We know that they were talking. I don't know if they were his first choice, but that's who ultimately did it. But we don't have any evidence to suggest that. That the brothers might be victims?
Boss, I think that I think the fact that this was staged and that Jussie hired these two guys to stage this for his benefit and then spin this into a criminal investigation put them in a really tough spot as well, to the point where now they were arrested for a hate crime. And only because of just the incredible work by the entire team did we get to the point where we were able to get the truth from them. And now we are where we are today.
So one of the brothers worked on Empire. So they had a relationship, an association. So he probably knew that he needed somebody with some bulk, and he knew them. They had a previous relationship, so that's probably the only reason he chose them. I didn't see I didn't see the entire thing. I saw a couple of parts of it, and to be quite honest, it's shameful, you know, because it painted this city that we all love and work hard in a negative connotation, you know, to insinuate and to stage a hate crime of that nature when he knew as a celebrity it would get a lot of attention. It's just despicable, you know. It makes you wonder what's going through someone's mind to do something like that. So yeah, I saw a couple of parts of it, and I was angered by it, to be quite honest. Yeah. Well, you know what? That certainly helped, and you know, their account information on that really pinpointed who they were. But who's to say whether or not we would have or not? You know, these let me tell you this: these individuals you see standing behind me, the detectives in Chicago, in my opinion, are probably some of the best detectives in this country. So I have no doubt that they would have gotten to the bottom of this. You know. Is that okay? Yeah, that's the last call before closing. Well, to be perfectly honest, from the very beginning, we had some questions about it. But as I said, we gave Mr. Smollett the benefit of the doubt all the way up until that 47th hour of the 48 hours we could hold those two individuals, because we just didn't have the total package to support that it was a hoax. So when you heard me coming out saying we are treating him like a victim, that was the truth, because at that time that's what he was. And I think anybody that reports a crime deserves the Chicago Police Department to treat them in that fashion until we have solid evidence to prove otherwise. In the back.
God, stop fucking calling me.
Financial aspect of it. Now, whether or not they knew the whole thing would go the way that they did, and I can tell you all with 100% certainty, the way that they carried this out, there was never a thought in their mind that we would be able to track them down, because these detectives, they put in intense work and just great work. And I cannot say how incredibly proud I am of them for the work that they put into it. But that's just an example of the work that they do every day that just goes unreported because it doesn't get the media attention that this particular case got. But it was financial gain. Last question. Well, he identified who those two individuals were. You know, we knew that then. He didn't know that we knew. But yeah, he helped us out when he identified them. Okay? That was after the ride share account. Yes. Okay. No. That was the one piece. We have about I would say about 2 hours of footage back and forth, and that those few minutes were not on footage. Again? We don't know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Say again? Well, that's at the 47th hour is when the two brothers decided, like the commander reiterated, that with the help of their lawyer, they decided to confess to the entirety of what the plot was. Okay? Say that again. Absolute justice would be an apology to this city that he smeared, admitting what he did, and then be man enough to offer what he should offer up in terms of all the resources that were put into this. Thank you all.